What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of SMITE Meta Casual News, episode 19. In today's episode, I have a little wish list about what I want to see on the brand new Goddess Circuit. Also, we finally have our hands on some hardcore numbers on how many players are playing SMITE right now. Once again, my name is FG3000, you're you, and here comes the news. First up in news, Red Bull Esports has an interview with high-res Todd Harris. This is a fantastic interview if you want to check it out yourself. I have a link in the description below. Keep in mind this is part 1 of the interview. Part 2 is probably coming out in the next couple of weeks. But in today's episode, I wanted to focus on one of the best questions in the interview, the elephant in the room. How many players do you have now? How many players are playing SMITE, Mr. Todd Harris? And the fantastic thing about this interview is that high-res didn't back down. So they mentioned that in March they had 3 million players. Today they are at over 4 million plus. They also mentioned that every month since the start of beta, the numbers have been steadily increasing. This is fantastic for SMITE, fantastic for us, fantastic for matchmaking, but we're not going to talk about that in today's episode. Also, and I'm not sure if he meant to do this, but he definitely did. He basically mentioned that if SMITE were on Steam, it would sit right around number 10 to number 12 when it comes to popularity. Now, this gives us a hardcore indication of how many players are playing SMITE right now, because we can go right over to Steam, take a look at the list, and take a look at how many players are playing right now. So right on the screen, I have a list of the games currently on Steam right now and how many players are playing. So Dota 2, of course, 560,000 players are playing right now. Second place is 160,000 with Counter-Strike. That's a distant second, but Dota 2 is a beast. So if you consider SMITE was on this list, it would kind of hover right around like DayZ, Arma 3, Terraria, Counter-Strike, kind of in that company. So that would kind of put SMITE's numbers right around 25,000 to about upper 35,000 players playing at one time on a given day. So those are pretty solid numbers. Now, you have to consider that SMITE is a brand new IP from a relatively unknown company, right? Hi-Rez only has Global Agenda and Tribes, and those are two games that were reviewed well, but weren't extremely popular. So this is still a small company with a brand new IP trying to go against some of the big dogs of the industry. You know, Dota was out, 8 plus 10 years before Dota 2 came out. So it had a long time to build up numbers like this for Dota 2. So that is not to be unexpected. So considering that SMITE continues to grow every single month, however, there is no way that it will not be able to pass some of these other games. So like Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2, the fan base of Borderlands 2 is not going to continue to grow, right? It's going to continue to decrease. So SMITE will eventually pass that. It'll eventually pass Civilization and Skyrim and games like that. Those games are just games that are popular right now, but considering SMITE is continually adding new and new players every single month, it'll eventually get to the point where if it were on Steam, it would probably hover right around Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike. I would think probably this time next year, it'll probably have like Counter-Strike Global Offensive numbers. Like this time next year, that's probably a reasonable assumption on my part. Of course, I don't work at high-res. I don't have any real numbers. That's just my guess. But let me turn the question to you. What do you think? How do you feel about SMITE's numbers? Do you think they are growing at the speed you expected, or do you think they're a little bit slower than you expected? As always, I read all my comments, so I'm looking forward to checking out what you guys have to say. Next topic. So we know our next goddess in the game is going to be Circuit, and today I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about what I would like to see in this goddess. Now, as of today, we don't really know what class she's going to be. We don't really know anything about her abilities. All we know is she is the next god in SMITE. Now, Circuit is the goddess of healing poisonous stings and bites. She is Egyptian, and she's often depicted with a scorpion on top of her head. Now, I might be alone in this, and this is why I'm kind of throwing this out there. I really would like to see another god in the game like Arachne that doesn't walk around on 2 legs, right? I feel like we have enough female gods in the game on 2 legs. No offense to all the women out there with 2 legs. I love you. I promise I love you. But you know what? I would really like to see another goddess in the game that is non-humanoid. So it would really be awesome to me if she basically her lower torso was full scorpion, and then her upper body from like, her waist up was just a regular human. I think that would be so awesome. I really don't want to see yet another, hot chick with, you know, barely any clothes on, walking around with 2 legs in the game. I think this is a great opportunity to put in something that is totally different. And the more I think about the scorpion nature of her, I really think that it'd be cool to get another Guardian who looked as awesome as that. Think about a female Guardian with a lower torso of a scorpion, upper body of a woman, who had heals and you know, cleanses and initiates with her stinger, and I think it would be fantastic. And of course, burrow. Like, if you want to go with a scorpion, you have to have an ability which allows her to burrow under the ground and pop up under. I think it would be fantastic. That is really what I'm hoping for, and I just wanted to put it on record, just in case it happens, just in case Hi-Rez implements everything I said. I just want to be around to be able to say I told you so. You know how I am, Scumbag FG. But as always, I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys want to see in this god? Do you want to see an assassin, a warrior, guardian, mage, a hunter? What do you guys want to see in this brand new goddess? Keep in mind, no opinion is too dumb, not even mine. Once again, guys, my name is FG3000. You have been you. And that, my friends, was the news.